Hello everyone, my name is Naguura and today I'm going to be talking about Dragonflight and all the things that are new in Dragonflight. I will quickly go over the major new things in Dragonflight and kind of give you like a TLDR version of all the things that are new so you get a little bit of an overview on what you can expect. I will also point to more detailed videos of each topic, so if you want to know more about something, then click on the video and check it out because I upload all of these more detailed videos about each topic as well. So first of all, we have new zones. We're going to be moving to the Dragon Isles, and the Dragon Isles have 4 major new zones for everyone, plus a 5th new zone for the Dragthir, the starting area for the Dragthir. The main city is called Valdrakken and it's located in Teldrassus. And this is going to be the city that we're going to be spending most of our time in. Everything is really beautiful in the Dragon Isle, so you can definitely look forward to that. Then there's going to be a new race / class, and it's called the Dragthir. Dragthir is the race, the name of the race, and Evoker is the name of the new class. They kind of go hand in hand at the moment because Dragthir can only be Evokers and Evokers can only be Dragthir, so keep that in mind. Then there's 2 specializations for the Evokers. One is a healing spec called Preservation, and the other spec is Devastation, which is a mid-range DPS caster. Then let's talk about Dragonriding. Dragonriding will be something that will be unlocked really early on once you start leveling through the main story quest. Dragonriding only works in the Dragon Isles. Unless you're a Dragthir, then you can actually use Soar to do some Dragonriding in the previous zones as well. And only the Dragonriding mounts work for Dragonriding in the Dragon Isles. A lot of dragons. The way it works is that it actually kind of works like real-life physics, where when you're flying, you need to fly down to gain momentum, and then you can fly upwards. But if you lose momentum, you will just stop flying and your dragon will fall down. You have something called Vigor, which is basically your Dragonriding energy that you can use abilities to move upwards or move forwards. So I'll show you a little bit. I'm using Skyward Ascent right now to go upwards, and you can see through the animation, you can see when you have a lot of momentum and when you're really fast. And then when you have this momentum, you can use it to fly upwards a little bit. But keep in mind, the more you fly up, the more you lose your momentum and the slower you get. And if you don't use your Vigor and you just keep flying upwards like I'm doing right now, at some point you can see I'm losing momentum and I will stop moving and it will slowly fall downwards. And if to gain momentum again, you have to point your dragon down and then you gain your momentum back. Or you use your Vigor, your energy, to speed up your dragon for a little while. Quick little tip, if you point your dragon all the way upwards and then you use Skyward Ascent, you will actually gain more speed this way, instead of just pointing your dragon forward and then using Skyward Ascent. So keep that in mind. Point it upwards, get as much speed as possible, and then fly wherever you want. There's Dragonriding glyphs located around Dragon Isles. You will see them not on the minimap, but you will see them just visually. They're golden looking runes, and if you fly through them, you will gain like a talent point for your Dragonriding talents. So if you open up your Dragon Isle summary here at the top, you have this Dragonriding area here, and these Dragonglyphs that you obtained, you can spend for these Dragonriding points. All of the glyphs are located in stationary areas. I will post a link below with a map to show you where all of these Dragonriding glyphs are, or you can use an add-on called Handynotes that will show you the locations of the Dragonriding glyphs and point you towards them, which is really convenient. Alright, then let's talk about Renown. Renown is the new kind of way on how reputation will work in Dragonflight. If you open up the summary on the side, you will see the 4 major factions that all work through this Renown system. Now, the Renown system is not something completely like different than the reputation system. Basically, the way it works, you're still farming reputation normally like we always used to, but instead of it going from neutral to friendly to revered to exalted, whatever, you just have multiple steps in between and they're just numbered. So you start with Renown 1, then you get 2, 3, 4 until you're like max Renown, which is 25. So there's just more steps now, more individual smaller steps, and each of these steps unlocks different things. You can check out all of the rewards here in this area. You will always see where they are. One major thing is that you can advance all of the renowns, all of the factions simultaneously. You don't have to choose one. And additionally, most of the things that you're unlocking are account-wide. Mouse overing them, you can see this blue text, account unlock. So most of these things are account-wide. There's no player power or no major player power involved. So if you only care about major player power, you don't have to do any of these Renown advances. You don't have to care about the system at all. If you do care about Renown, if you do care about the cosmetics that you unlock, the quests that you unlock, the other kind of outdoor activities that you unlock, plus mounts and pets and titles, then definitely go ahead and advance it. I think it's a really fun extra activity to do outside of, you know, major pillars of WoW like raiding and then plus and so on. Then let's quickly talk about professions. They have reworked professions quite a bit. You still can only have 2 major professions, unfortunately, but the major change that they did is that you have specializations. So basically you have this tab here, similar to like talent points. You can unlock different specializations that advance a certain area of your crafting. It unlocks certain recipes that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. It specializes you in something specific of that profession. It's a pretty cool system. You should check it out if you care about professions. Again, I will make a video that is more detailed if you want to check it out. Other than that, something important to note, even if you do not want to do professions, it's really important to note that you have quality of items now. Almost every profession ingredient, every potion, every item, literally everything that can be crafted or made with professions has quality. The quality is displayed on the item, and if you mouse over it, it says here. So this is quality 1. Some items can be quality 2. This one here is quality 3, as you can see, and it goes all the way up to quality 5, but not for every item. Some items only go from quality 1 to 3, some items go from quality 1 to 5, and so on. And the quality is determined through different things, like depending on what kind of materials you use, what kind of extra bonuses you use, and so on and so on. Like it's a very detailed system that I cannot explain perfectly in this short video. You also have another sub-reputation that I will show you real quick that is related to professions as well. It's called Artisan Consortium. This is not a major faction, so it doesn't have renown, but advancing this reputation will give you more things that are related to professions. So if you care about professions, I would also look into Artisan Consortium to make sure you do the quests that are related to it and so on. All right, now let's talk about the season and season related things. So all the things I talked about before are things that are immediately unlocked as Dragonflight comes out, but other things are not being unlocked until the 13th/14th of December when the actual season starts. So when the season starts, what comes out? Number 1, the raid. The raid is called Vault of the Incarnates, and it's an 8-boss raid. It will be immediately released on all difficulties. You will get normal mode, heroic, mythic, and the first wing of LFR all released at once. And Mythic Plus will also be released at the same time, but I will talk about Mythic Plus a bit later. Some things that are new about the raid that you should know is that we now have forced group loot in the raid. So that means no more personal loot in the raid. When you kill a boss, the items will pop up, just random items from the loot table. If there's a bow that drops and you don't have a hunter, it's going to be gone. And you can roll on the items with need, greed, and disenchant, like we used to be able to do in the past. But it's a little bit more of an advanced group loot system that actually has certain rules. So for example, if you're a druid and your main spec is Resto Druid, then you can roll on feral items, for example, but you will not win that item if there's an actual feral player that has feral as their main loot spec selected and they roll need as well. So there's a little bit of a priority system to make sure that people are not winning items as like secondary or as transmog or whatever when there's other people that want it for their main spec as a main player power gain. So yeah, that's how the group loot system works. Then another thing that I want to note about the way loot drops in a raid is that there's now 3 different item levels in each difficulty that drop. So on Mythic, for example, the first 4 bosses drop item level 415, but then the middle bosses drop item level 421, and the last 2 bosses drop item level 424. So there's 3 different item level steps now throughout the raid. And additionally, there's special items that you can see in the loot table marked as very rare. And these items are even higher item level, and I assume they're also a lower chance to drop. So this one, for example, is 430 item level. That is higher item level than the normal items that drop on the last boss. And you get these items even in the first boss. Like even the first boss has one of these very rare items. This one is 421 on Mythic, even though the normal items that drop on this boss are 415. So keep that in mind as well. And most of these special items have like special effects on them as well. This ring, for example, has an equip effect. Then additionally, we have tier sets that are spec specific, very similar to how we had them in Shadowlands Season 3. You can get them through the raid. They drop through tokens. Then you can also get them through the vault. You can get it through the raid vault, Mythic Plus vault, or the PvP vault. And then additionally, we also have the catalyst again that will be unlocked 6 weeks after the season comes out. And then you will accumulate charges by doing certain quests that will then give you those charges. The charges are account-wide. So if you have 3 charges unlocked in your catalyst and then you create an alt character, then that character will immediately have 3 charges available to them already. Now let's talk about M+ a little bit. The M+ season 1, will have 4 of the new Dragonflight dungeons: Ruby Life Pools, Azure Vault, No Cut Offensive, and Academy. And then there will be 4 old dungeons that are part of Season 1: Court of Stars, Shadow Moon Burial Ground, Temple of the Jade Serpent, and Halls of Valor. There will be a new affix called Thundering. The way it works is that everyone once in a while gets an element over their head, either your storm or your wind, it looks like. And then you have to meet with the person that has the opposite element of you to remove it. But while you have the buff on you, you do 30% additional damage and healing. So technically, you want to min-max the removal of it and wait a little bit before you remove it and meet with another person. But if you don't get rid of your debuff in time, then you will be stunned and you will take damage. So keep that in mind. Then the way the item level works now in Season 1 in M+ is like this. So it will now scale all the way up to +20, when in the past it would only scale up to +15. So if you want the maximum item level from the vault, which would be 421, then you have to do +20 keys. And if you want the maximum item level from end of dungeon chest in M+, then you want to do 19s or 20s to be able to get 405 item level. So M+ is going to be a little bit more difficult to get the maximum amount of rewards. Keep that in mind. Then the rating requirements, the M+ rating requirements for your Valor upgrades. The maximum item level you can get is 415 through upgrades, and it requires 2,400 rating in Mythic Plus. Then one last thing I want to talk about is the elemental storms, or primalist invasions is what they're called. So every 6 hours there will be 2 different invasions that pop up on the map. It will be an icon that you can see on the map. You go there and then there's different kinds of mobs that are spawning in this area that you're defeating, and they drop a currency that is called Elemental Overflow. And that currency can be used to buy items on a vendor. These items on the vendor are item level 369. So this is certainly not item level that you would need as a raider or as a plus player. But if you do open world content, then these items can definitely be very nice for you. So definitely go and check those items out. It's a full gear set actually that has set bonuses as well. So check it out if you want to. Then you can even upgrade those items to item level 395, which is the same item level as like normal raid item level. You can upgrade those with storm sigils, and these storm sigils again are being obtained in these elemental storms / primalist invasions. So yeah, check that out. If you mainly do outdoor content and you care about these items, then check out those storms, and they will only be unlocked when the season starts. So when Season 1 starts, they will be unlocked, not earlier than that. And they're mainly aimed as like a system for people that do not raid or M+. If you're raid, play M+, or you play PvP, then I think this is not going to be something that you need to do or that would be an upgrade for you. But if you're an outdoor player that only does outdoor content, then definitely look into those primalist invasions. All right, that's it for all of the major new things that I figured was worth talking about. Most of these things you will figure out as you go, so don't worry about it too much. It sounds like there's a lot of new stuff and a lot of things to know, But as I said, don't worry about it. It's really easy to figure these things out as you level through the area. And the first 2 weeks of the expansion, before the season starts, there's so much time that you have on your hands to figure out all of these things. You don't have to worry about missing out. I also want to stress that you shouldn't be leveling super quickly. There's really no benefit whatsoever to do that. Blizzard announced that all of the weekly things will not be starting until Wednesday for EU and until Tuesday for NA, because Dragonflight comes out on Monday, of course, and usually our weekly reset is on Wednesday, so 2 days later. But Blizzard announced that all of these weekly reset things that would be important, like Mythic 0 or weekly quests, they will not be available until Wednesday, until the actual reset happens. So you don't have to worry about, you don't have to stress and level up super quickly. Take your time, do the main story quest that you have to do anyway, because otherwise you won't be unlocking your world quests. Make sure you look at all the side quests, look at the renowns, look at the factions, farm stuff as you go, do some professions as you go to familiarize yourself really with all of the new things that are there. I really recommend taking it slow and just checking things out as you go, because again, there's just no reason to really rush and there's no benefit of doing so. All right, that's it about all the new things. I hope you really enjoy Dragonflight. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you like videos like these, and check out the more detailed videos about all of the subjects that I talked about today. If you have any questions, ask in the description below and the comments below, or check out my stream over at twitch.tv/Naguura. I'm going to be streaming lots and lots of Dragonflight, and you can come in and ask questions at any point. There will also be giveaways that I'm doing on Dragonflight release. I will be giving away heroic and epic editions of Dragonflight, so check that out on release date. And then there will also be drops on my Twitch channel enabled, where you can get a mount, you can get fireworks, you can get a pet. So check out my Twitch stream if you want any of those cosmetic drops. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have an amazing start into Dragonflight, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.